Well, this is it, our last direct message before Donald Trump is sworn in as the 45th President of the United States. According to half the media and countless celebrities, January 20th will be the beginning of the Armageddon. According to Trump supporters and lots of anime avatars on Twitter, January 20th will be the single greatest day in world history. I, however, think that the truth lies somewhere in between the bloviation of Michael Moore and the memes of Pepe the Frog. In the space between these two extremes is some incredibly fertile ground for those of us who want to make this country sane again. Think about it. When was the last time you felt that there was so much going on that was changing the world all around us all at once? Maybe you're thinking back to 8 years ago when Barack Obama ran on hope and change, but I actually think that there's more opportunity right now than there was then. We can debate whether Obama was a good president or not. I'd say pretty much yes on domestic policy and basically no on the international front. But in terms of actual change, did much really change, or did the system just keep chugging along? By the way, I don't have much of a problem with that system chugging along. For all its faults, our system is still a pretty great one. But if change was what you wanted 8 years ago, I'm not really sure that's what you got. With Trump, though, there can be no doubt that change is coming. Everything about Trump, from the way he debated, to his tweets, to his cabinet picks, have been different than anything before. You may not like any of his tactics or his choices, but you can't argue that change isn't happening right now, this very second. And if you don't like the change that you see, it is your duty as a citizen to have your voice heard. Get out there, protest or volunteer, be part of the process with which you're so upset right now. Of course, by the same token, if you're happy Trump won and you think he's the answer to political correctness and the rest of society's ills, then you're about to be tested too. It's one thing to be against political correctness and for free speech when you're in the opposition, but it takes real character to be against political correctness and for free speech when it's your guy that the words are aimed at. I think that most of you who watch this show aren't really on either one of these teams and instead care more about principles than party. Actually, I really believe it's not just you watching this channel who believe this, but it's pretty much everyone out there who isn't on the Democratic or Republican payroll. Many Republicans made it clear they wouldn't work with Obama, which led to gridlock, which led to Trump. Now many Democrats are making it clear that they won't work with Trump, which really just makes them as bad as the Republicans they've been complaining about for the past 8 years. This isn't how our system is supposed to work, by constantly being held hostage by two parties who care more about stopping the other one from succeeding than doing anything positive themselves. This is clearly where we are, however, and this is why change, real change, is needed now more than ever. The change shouldn't be about whether you vote for a Democrat or vote for a Republican, though. It should be about how much power we give any of these people to control our lives. Violent protests, which unfortunately I think we're going to have more and more of, will only bring more authoritarianism and state power. We need to change attitudes and win the battle of ideas, not just the battle of the day. That's why I've spent the last year and a half talking about having honest conversations and dealing with difficult topics. Every time we forego real debate and silence our opponents, we spawn a new set of people who will come in with easy answers. This is the space that the true bigots and actual authoritarians will flourish in. It doesn't matter if they're far leftists who want to silence critics or far rightists who want to kick out immigrants. They don't want conversation, they want control. It's also why I'm completely convinced that a new center is developing faster than even we realized. Traditional labels are becoming increasingly meaningless as people realize that the battle is no longer Democrat versus Republican, nor is it us versus them. The battle lines are now those who are truly for freedom versus those who would stifle it in the name of tolerance or in the name of security. Thanks to the internet, though, and the rising group of voices who are calling out this nonsense, we're starting to win some of these battles. And if Trump has taught us anything, people like a winner. Well, all right, Donald, you won, so now it's time to do some real interviews and respond to some real criticism. I've got a chair for you right there. So while maybe I've lost the left, or the left has lost me, I now see that fertile ground and I'm going to start planting some seeds. These seeds will not only be to grow new alliances with liberals and conservatives, but even Marxists and progressives. I have no desire to silence them or any of the people I disagree with. I want to continue to talk about the ideas which will help us avoid that whole pesky Armageddon thing that I mentioned earlier. We can do this together not by deplatforming and through violence, but by consistently showing that the ideas of freedom and liberty and the rights of the individual are the best way to attain a society that values true human equality. Joining me this week is author, radio host, and columnist Dennis Prager. A few weeks before the election, I was at an event for his YouTube channel, Prager University, and I heard Dennis's keynote speech. I heard Dennis speak through his conservative lens about how the wonderful experiment that is America and his deep concern for the future of this country. While I know we have our disagreements about religion, gay marriage, abortion, and a bunch of other things, I see Dennis as someone I can build a bridge with because he'll honestly tell me what he believes, and I'll do the same. For every liberal that he may convert to conservatism, I think I can convert just as many conservatives to liberalism. And as I said before, these labels are becoming more and more meaningless by the day. It doesn't matter if we agree on every little thing. What matters is that we'll defend the other person's right to liberty and freedom. As we enter this new phase of change, it'll be up to us as to whether the change is positive or negative. Our system is stronger than one man, but one man can change the world. Let's trade hope and change for the courage of our convictions and let the chips fall where they may.